I hang with the best skaters. Like
That's dope, man. That's
yeah.
dope. So who was it, or what was it that kind of pushed you into the direction of music, man?
I would have to contribute that to my homie Tayron. He calls himself hashtag Tay with the Stripe team. Like we used to actually skate together. I seen him rolling in the hood one time in the neighborhood we grew up in, and we just basically linked up to skate. And he was making music at the time, and
Yeah.
he was always like taking this shit serious and shit. Like my first verse I wrote, I called that shit the Fat Bitch song. Like so, I was like a parody rapper or want to be comedic or whatever the fuck. So
Yeah.
that's my origins of like recording rap.
That was your lane.
Yeah, but my homie Tay, he got me in this booth he was doing at the time, and just over time I would like pick up on artists and stuff that would show me like, damn, like this shit is yeah, man. Like this shit touches lives, it touches nerves, man.
Yeah.
Like you feel audio. Like you can't see this shit,
Yeah.
can't touch this shit, but you can feel this shit, man. Like
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
so
In your
from there,
soul, in your bones, in
all
like
that,
every fiber
my
of your being,
balls,
almost.
all that. Depend on what song. Pause. Pause. Not no Kodak Black.
Hey.
Nah, but yeah, bro, that shit. And also it'll take you places too, man. Like
definitely can.
music. Like even though I haven't been everywhere, I don't feel like anybody has, but it's taken me like places to where it's like, if somebody told me tomorrow we got to wrap it up, that's the end, I would be a little satisfied. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. And you know what I feel like you need to be like, like it's good to still have things that you want to accomplish, but like at the end of the day, if you died tomorrow, did you live your life
Yeah,
how you should have?
and that's one thing I keep in mind too, man. Like oftentimes people they'll tell you like I do what I want or whatever the fuck, and I'll say that, but it's not to say like like I don't fucking listen to like authority figures or can't nobody tell me shit. It's just a matter of I know all this shit could be taken away in the snap of a finger, so it's like while I am here, I'm gonna make sure like
Yeah.
do what a nigga would like to be doing. Like
Man, life is precious, brother. I mean, like we both, I'm sure, have had lost friends, family, loved ones,
Yeah.
and I mean, like I was talking about at the opening, man. Like, look at Kobe and Gigi, brother. Like, that's heartbreaking, bro. That's to, just thinking about it, man. It be fucking me up, bro. Like for real. Usually, like, it don't. Which it's weird. I don't know what the fuck it is about this one, because I'm not even gonna front. I wasn't a Kobe fan. It wasn't none of that. I don't know what it was.
yeah, I'll touch on that just a bit. But like same here, I never really got into like sports too much, But I was rolling in the car and I got a text message from my mom and she asked me if I heard about Kobe, and I'm thinking to myself like I don't know anybody named Kobe, so I'm like Kobe who, and she told me Kobe Bryant. And so from there, like I'm like going on like social medias and shit. I'm like what, like, but shit like that, man. It's like hella crazy. Definitely, like he didn't wake up that morning with that shit on his mind at all. I don't think so.
Well,
Like
and check this out, man. Like, look, it just goes to show you, like, all the money in the world, all the success, all the past success, all the fame, all the glory, all the championship rings in the world can't bring you tomorrow.
no, nothing can promise it, man.
And that's why, like, life is so precious, brother. You gotta, and people don't treat it as such. And that shit has really made me kind of just change my perspective. And I feel like I've always had a pretty good perspective on life and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean that it struck a chord.
Yeah, and those kind of people, they often leave me a little torn. It's kind of like I would like to help them and show them, because most times they don't really know like their potential or what they can do, so they're not to blame. But the other half is kind of like shit, man. It's like you could be doing so much more, but yet you have this to say about the next person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can you have something to show for it first? but you can't really blame them if they're not, educated or aware of it.
Yeah.
But it's like I get torn because it's like, damn, am I the one to teach that to them, or should I just let them?
Let life teach them.
Yeah, or
Yeah. It's
you know.
it's the fine line. It's that catch-22. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
that double-edged sword. It's one of those things. Is if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
gets pretty tricky, y'all.
So
Shit.
so tell me about like the progression. We kind of talked about skateboarding and growing in skateboarding and how that led you. Well, it didn't lead you to music. Were you doing music before, like at the same time as skateboarding? Before skateboarding, like when did you
Um,
first start writing?
so I first seriously started riding. I was skateboarding first. And so if I wasn't skating, I probably wouldn't have met my homie Tay. We met, but that's how we met through fucking skating. So,
Yeah.
but that was my kickstart into the music. Like he showed me like how to record, or because before then I would only hear a song, so I would have no idea how the shit was done.
Yeah.
I would just hear it,
And be like,
but
oh, that's tight.
yeah, it's either dope or it's not. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like people were working way too hard for that shit. Like, and I had no idea. Like, he showed me like about the recording, the mixing, like the mastering, like all of that different shit that goes behind like making the track. And so from
Producing.
there, yeah, I gained a new appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Like, like writing and shit like that. So over time, it got like better and better. But me as an artist, it's like I'm an artist, but I'm also a fan still.
Hmm.
So the fan in me finds myself, like I'm like just a critique of the music, or I'm sitting here to consume.
Yeah.
But the artist in me is like re-emerging. Like back in the day when I began, that's when it was at its like strongest.
As a fan, as you being a fan,
Yeah.
I gotta say, hearing people critique different artists, you are probably one of the most critical. You are probably one of the
Yeah.
most critical. Uh, so tell me about your taste in music. How did that all develop? Cause you gotta, you know what I mean. You're very
Yeah.
particular, and
I
you
know
have a
what you
very
mean.
strong sense of what you consider, I guess, a quote unquote rapper.
Okay, so that stems from basically being like a young kid in a car or something, and a song will be on about like someone with like 50,000 bitches or like 30,000 cars or $100,000 or something,
Yeah.
and it's like sure, like it may sound catchy, but if I'm like repeating this shit and I'm singing this shit and I don't got none of that shit, like I look fucking retarded.
You're
Like,
suspect.
yeah,
You look
like
like a fraud.
yeah. So like as a young kid, I kind of noticed that. So I would kind of like make sure I would have music that spoke more about like me or to me or that was more relative to me.
Hmm.
And
And your experience.
yeah, so that's kind of that helped me like make my own music. Nothing's
Yeah.
more real than your own story. So that's really like why I would like continue to writing. I mean, continue to keep writing as a young kid. Like
Yeah.
so I got some shit to listen to that's not a lie.
Yeah.
If I sing this shit back, it's the truth. I was all about authenticity, but also I would think about the impact that it has, because people that I grew up around, like they're either a lot of them are doing good, but it's a lot of cool cats who are like in jail or some shit, or like fucking dead, or they can't leave their neighborhood because they let like music or a way of life, have a impact on theirs.
Hmm.
But it's not their reality. Like while somebody else is rapping, living rich or whatever, comfortable, but you like their song, so you dressing like a thug or you want to be with the shit.
Hmm.
Like that got you in a predicament to where now you're like stagnating and boxed in like an environment.
I
And
definitely
the
feel
other
that.
side of that was like, I got like a niece and shit. I got a nephew. I would think to myself like, would I approve of them like listening to certain shit?
Hmm.
because what's the message that they're taking from it? So I was just like conscious of it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say on a different level, but I was just aware of it.
Yeah.
Like the impact that it had, like long term.
So who are some who are some people that kind of help form not your sound, like we'll get to your sound and like your lyrics and everything like that, but as far as your taste in music, like what you like to listen into, like what type of music. And I'm sure you probably, like most, especially here in the Bay, I feel like Bay Area folks especially have like a very wide, eclectic, and good taste in music.
Yeah.
Like real Bay Area folks. What do you so like? What's some of your inspirations and kind of things that you like sonically?
So my earliest memory would be they would all be subconscious. They would be like some shit I would hear riding in a car with my parent or something. Like I don't remember what year. It's a song called "Forgive Me Nots" by like Patricia something, but like shit.
Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah, like that shit like that. Yeah, bro, like shit like that makes me move. Like I fucks with that over some club banger shit. Like but like shit like that, Tribe Called Quest, man.
Yeah.
Like some older Eminem shit. Motherfucking bruh, Exhibit is very underrated.
Okay.
Motherfucking like not the whole Wu-Tang Clan. Like admittedly, I got into them a little later, but I do appreciate them. But I was like fucking with like some Method Man shit back in the day.
Okay.
But yeah, and then like as I got older, I got into a lot of the Odd Future shit, man. Like a lot of the Earl Sweatshirt. Like
let me
Tyler.
let me pause you real quick.
Yeah.
You're from Double Rock.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah, man.
And I have not heard one Bay Area artist. But so that's what amazes me. Not in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like I love all different types of music, but for you, your lyricism, you have a very not Bay Area sound to you.
Yeah.
You have a very old school, real New York lyricist type of sound, but like a new age version of it.
Man, and I noticed that pretty young, like when I was or when I would like gain any eyes on me, like people they'd probably question like, "You sure this motherfucker's from San Francisco?" Like he doesn't really sound like it. Like he's not toting wops. Like you sure?
Yeah.
But it comes with it. It's just I wouldn't say it doesn't appeal to me, but I just don't think it's not worth it, like because you only see what's on the video or what's shown on the post, but it's like when the police and shit's kicking in your mama door or they're motherfucking staking out waiting for your mom to leave the house or some shit or work, that
but
shit.
I will say this though,
they don't rap about that. But
those Bay Area rappers though, they really doing what they talking about. For the most, a lot of the Bay Area rappers.
I mean,
which is why they all got in trouble.
And that's exactly. It's like it's either good or it's bad. It's like because on one hand, like if there's a rapper like false flagging, like you call him out, like you ain't really about that shit. But then it's like a motherfucker who really is doing it, but he's going to jail for doing that shit. It's like it's no win in this shit. It's like you might as well just find something better else to do.
Yeah. Well, maybe. So, I mean, and this is just a kind of, I guess, like the ongoing debate, I guess, in hip-hop is like, is this art or is this glorifying violence, misogyny, and things that may be detrimental to the progression of people from certain type of areas? But at the same time, is this not the same stuff that you saw growing up?
Yeah.
Or we saw growing up?
Yeah, see, the cycle of that is a pretty interesting one. It's a pretty interesting one.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily an excuse, but the closest one to one would be like the creativity and the, like how people were different back in the day. Like, if you sounded or looked like another person, like that
wasn't flying.
Yeah, it was a no-go, man. That was...
Now, it seemed like everybody looked the same, act the same. Everybody got them same whack-ass face tattoos. Everybody fake like they hard.
I mean,
They can't rap.
I'm hearing a lot of similar production too, but I feel like that's become the standard. You know, like the cycle. Sure, like the shit that they're saying, like people that I look up to or whatever, it's pretty much the same shit. It's just like way watered down, no thought into it, blatant, right in your face. Don't make you look for shit.
So who would